Ever get that feeling? Like some bands, they were just destined to be discovered.
Hmm.
That's Chance and the Lucky Aces for me. Just their name, it pulls you in.
Yeah.
This Leeds-based band, they're not afraid to play around a little bit, with history, with fantasy,
Right.
music, the unexpected, all of it.
Yeah.
So this is your backstage pass, really, to Chance and the Lucky Aces.
Yeah.
We're diving deep into their music, the lyrics, and even the personalities behind it.
What really grabs you about this band, Chance and Lucky Aces, it's how they blend together the familiar with the unexpected. You know what I mean? Like, take their first single, I Shot a Frenchman at Agincourt. I mean, you've got this huge historical event, the Battle of Agincourt, right?
Thanks.
And they inject it with this humor, you
Oh,
know?
absolutely, yeah. You're not kidding. It's like a history lesson, but someone's winking at you the whole time.
Exactly.
You can almost hear the swords clashing and, well, as they put it, the croaking of 30,000 frogs.
Right.
Speaking of unexpected, that cowbell solo, that threw me for a loop. Is that
Yeah.
is that a recurring thing with them? This love of the playfully unexpected instrument.
I mean, that cowbell solo it's inspired, you know? It speaks to this whole tradition of quirky instrumentation in British music. You think back to some of those great bands from the 80s and some of the unconventional instruments they used. Chance and the Lucky Aces, they tap into that same energy, and it's a good reminder not to take ourselves too seriously, right?
Right.
But yeah, listen for those instruments. They pop up in the most unexpected places.
I am here for it. Forks and knives. This one, it was like walking into a hall of mirrors or something.
Hmm.
Forks and knives, no knives and forks. It's repetitive, but it's also disorienting. It's like you're stuck. What's going on with this one? What's the story?
Forks and Knives. This one gives us a look inside Chance's head, you know?
Okay,
It's
yeah.
a conversation, basically, between Chance, the lead singer, and his younger self.
Hmm.
And they're struggling with time passing, getting older, maybe not liking who you've become. And that repetition you mentioned is not an accident.
Yeah.
It reflects their struggle with the cyclical nature of life, I guess. How time can feel like it's both dragging on and slipping away at the same time.
And then there's that line, you're beginning to sound like a stuck tape recorder.
Yes.
It's like he's trying to break free from that repetition, that feeling of being stuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that theme of time, especially slipping away, does that pop up anywhere else in their work?
Oh, yeah. Time, it's a recurring thing with Chance and the Lucky Aces, and it often comes with this sense of impending doom,
Okay.
which, it sounds heavy, I know, but they find a way, they address it with this dark humor, but also real emotion. You hear it in songs like 99 Red Buffoons and Bloodsucker Blues. In those songs, things just unfold so fast, like time itself is speeding up, rushing towards some end.
Speaking of 99 Red Buffoons, that song, it's got this whirlwind romance, but it feels like it's on fast forward the entire time.
Hmm.
Meeting, moving in, babies.
Mm.
It's almost funny how fast it happens.
Exactly. That's Chance and the Lucky Aces messing with our sense of time again, right?
Right.
This time, they're looking at how love and loss can be, well, fleeting,
Yeah.
but also, really important. It's like they're squeezing a whole life into, 3 minutes? This idea of time and it ending, they explore it even more in their song End of Time. It's this bleak apocalypse, but there's this strange beauty to it, like this shared experience of the end of everything.
Before we get to the apocalypse, though, we got to talk about the band themselves.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've got Chance, the most handsome man in Leeds,
Right.
and then you have David Maguire, shrouded in mystery. Rumor has it he once kidnapped a member of the Manic Street Preachers.
No, we should say the kidnapping, that's just a rumor at this point. But it does make you wonder about them, about the band. Could these stories, even if they're not totally true, could they be finding their way into the music?
Now, that's a question worth thinking about. And we're just getting started. It's like they're this puzzle box of people, and we're just starting to figure it out. And speaking of intriguing, we can't forget Brian Madigan,
Right.
the drummer who, rumor has it, performs entire shows with no instruments.
Yeah.
It's performance art, but it's rock and roll.
That's Brian, always pushing the limits. But it kind of shows you how the whole band thinks, They're not afraid to do something different, whether it's the instruments, the lyrics, even how they are on stage.
Yeah. And then there's Eddie Young, the Druid bassist,
Right.
with a love of cheese and striped pants.
Of course.
Honestly, with the lineup this eclectic, their music has got to be something else.
It really is. Just picture it. A druid playing bass. For songs about historical battles and, existential angst, all while wearing striped pants. It's that unexpected mix that makes them so interesting. It's like they're embracing the absurdity of it all. Like life's too short to be too serious, you know?
Right. You mentioned end of time earlier, and it's kind of stuck with me. It's this picture of the world ending, but the lyrics, there's this strange acceptance there, almost peaceful. It's not your typical end of the world song.
You're right. You're onto something there. End of time. It's not about freaking out or
Yeah.
despair. It's about facing what's coming together. Like when you're facing the end, all those little things that bug you, they just disappear. What you're left with is this feeling of connection, being part of something bigger.
And that line, the 13th hour has just begun, there's no time for any more fun. Haunting, but strangely catchy. It really sums up that whole dark but light thing they do in their music.
Totally. They're taking these deep, sometimes dark themes, but they deliver them with a little humor and a melody that stays with you. Speaking of dark and light, we should get back to Bloodsucker Blues.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a gothic novel, this song. You've got this creepy encounter with a vampire, told from the point of view of this kid, and this feeling of danger lurking beneath it all.
And we can't forget Millie. Who is Millie, you ask?
Well, you'll have to listen to the song and see if you can figure out her role in this eerie tale. It's like they are inviting us into their world where vampires and historical figures just hang out with everyday worries and this feeling that time is just slipping away.
And the way they sound. Not just the instruments, but how they use them. Those driving rhythms, those unexpected solos, all the layers of backing
Oh,
vocals.
the backing vocals, the chant sets. I almost forgot about them. They add this whole other layer, don't they?
Absolutely. The chant sets voices, they are just as important to their sound as the instruments themselves. And they are back for the new album.
Alongside a new backing vocal group called the Traveling Chanceberries.
Wow.
Can you imagine what the vocals are going to sound like on this new album?
Speaking of Lunch with the Lucky Aces,
Yeah.
I mean, the rumors are flying almost as high as the band themselves. We've heard whispers of Welsh influence, a singing door, a solo played on human bones.
It's shaping up to be quite the mix. And then there's the talk of a historical element, maybe another wink to the past, and a tribute to a famous female musician. One thing's for sure, they love to experiment, to push the boundaries, and keep their listeners guessing.
I mean, with Breakfast with Chance the Lucky Aces, they gave us history, heartbreak, and a good dose of the apocalypse, all in this wonderfully weird package.
Lunch with the Lucky Aces, it's going to be just as intriguing. At least they've given us these little hints about what's coming, and it's clear they are evolving as musicians, as storytellers.
I have a feeling they've got a lot more surprises up their sleeves. It's like they're setting this table, this huge spread of musical surprises. And we're the lucky ones, we get to dig in. This has been something else, exploring the world of Chance and the Lucky Aces.
You know what I love about this band? They can take these huge, I mean, sometimes really heavy themes, time, death, what it means to be human, and they make it feel real relatable by using humor and stories and music. It's really clever how they do it.
It's like they're saying, hey, life's crazy, don't forget to laugh, even when things are kind of dark. It's a good message.
Right, exactly. They want you to embrace it all, the good, the bad, all of it. And, well, they do it with a wink and a cowbell solo. End of time. Remember that one, the apocalypse. But even in all that darkness, there's this little bit of hope. This feeling that we're all in this together, facing the unknown. It's really something.
Yeah, it is. And it sticks with you. Makes you think about the big questions long after the song is over. What happens after time ends? What's waiting for us at lunch with the Lucky Aces? I can't wait to find out.
That's the beauty of Chance and the Lucky Aces. They give you just enough to make you curious, to make you want more. And it's more than just music, right? It's an experience. It's like they're inviting you to explore with them, to ask questions, to find something new every time you listen.
They're a mystery, wrapped in a striped suit, playing a cowbell solo as the world ends. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way.